Hello backers, hello Massif Games community. My name is Corey Wright. I'm the CEO of Massif Games. I'm the creator and designer and person who did the Mountaineers campaign for any of you who are new or just watching this. I wanted to take a few minutes today, and I know it's a little overdue, but I promised to do a video talking about some of the technical reasons that have been more difficult in getting this project going and why there were some delays at the factory and just getting things moving in that area. And I also want to do a couple more general updates for you guys, mostly good news today. So I'll start with the general updates first. As far as timelines go, there hasn't been any change from Longpack. I sent them an email yesterday saying, hey, are we still on time for product delivery before Chinese New Year? Because that's a big deadline that we'd like to try to hit, as most factories shut down for about a month at Chinese New Year. So I'm trying to make sure they get our game done before then. She said that they're still doing production, that she's going to get back to me. But so far, I've been in communication with them. I haven't heard anything to indicate that they aren't. There's a few products they haven't started manufacturing yet, but it looks like they've started everything else, or they've actually been doing everything else. I'm pretty sure the plastic pieces and the miniatures have already been completed, because they started those a couple months ago, actually. But anyways, looks like things are still on schedule at the moment, so that's great. I have contracted a couple people just to help make sure everything gets done efficiently and smoothly and there are no delays. Since I'm very busy, not only working at Massif Games, but also my regular full-time job that I had to take just to be able to support myself and my family. So I've been contracting some other people to do some work just to make sure that everything's done well. So I contracted a gal named Louisa Rook. And she is from Germany. She speaks like 3 or 4 languages. She's also a designer. So she is helping me make sure all the translation packs and stuff are done with that. So I'm super happy to have her on board. She's also helping me with a few other graphic related projects. And then as of today, I just signed a contract with Kirk Dennison from Peacekeeper Games, and he is going to be managing the logistics and fulfillment for us. And so I'm super excited to have that. I was a little bit stressed about that aspect of fulfilling this campaign. He's done, I think today he's done like 3 Kickstarters, and he has connections with Longpack, our manufacturer, has connections with fulfillment centers all around the world. So I've contracted him. He is going to be basically working with me, but mostly in charge of helping fulfill that. So I'm really excited about that. I think you should be too, because it means you won't have someone like myself. I have done worldwide fulfillment before, but not on this level. And so bringing him in and his experience, I think is going to be really great, making sure we get product out as fast as possible. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be awesome to have his help. Other updates. Some of you have been asking if it's possible to get a refund. You're tired of waiting. I'm really sorry. I'm tired of waiting too. I really wanted to have games not just by the deadline, but at least by like October or Christmas, and I'm sort of bummed that we haven't got there. And again, that's part of the point of this video, is to talk about what happened to cause these delays. A few of the reasons are my fault, but a large majority of them just have to do with the complexity of the project and difficulty in communication with the project managers who aren't used to a lot of the 3D aspects of this game. So we'll dig into those, but to answer the question, no, it is not possible to get a refund. The whole point of a Kickstarter campaign is to crowdfund something that's never been created before and to make it happen. So if everyone were to ask for a refund, well, how do I have any money left to continue to pay for fulfillment or manufacturing? Like, we have a set budget. I'm not making money off of this Kickstarter campaign. The only way I could eventually make money is that we do produce a few extra copies, and so like if I can sell those, then I can start to pay back myself for the years of time and energy put into this project. But it's not like I just took your money and had a nice 60K salary and I'm using the rest to make the games. It's no, everything went to this project, and I've already set the manufacturing orders, so I think you guys get it, but that's sort of the case of things. I hope you guys can hang on a little bit longer. We're almost there. We're so close to having this done. I anticipate late February and March, you guys are going to be having games in your hand, and you're going to love this thing. So let's get into some of the technical reasons of why it's been a little longer, and then also I'll show you guys some of the things that we've done that maybe you weren't aware of, but like beyond what we promised in the Kickstarter, I've actually done more work and added more components that are great. that are going to help make this game shine. So I've got the game box here. This is the pre-production copy. Some of you saw a previous video where I unboxed this and showed you the aspects of it. So, and we also got some new stuff here. And so maybe I'll start with this. This is a new pack long set, or the manufacturer just sent me. And so one of the reasons that we've had trouble, these are the new cards. So for example, like we had card orders, but they had the reverse of the card orders. We want the cards to be in a specific order so that you can start with, I think it's this pack here. So if you start with this pack here, we are actually in the process, it's almost finished, of making a nice PDF that you can print out, and we're going to see if we can have included with the games as well. That will show you step by step for a 4-player game how to play the game. And so all you have to do is take the cards and give them to each player. They're already shuffled in the order that we want them to be for that very first game. So it could be as if I was in the room teaching you the game when you first start. Maybe some of you have played Fog of Love, another Kickstarter game that had more delays than this one, by the way. But it's sort of the same idea of where you would be able to take the cards in the preset order and go through a game experience to be able to learn it. So that was one aspect of, like, we gave them the order and they simply reversed it. And that takes time. You have to be like, hey, no, it's the opposite. And they have to check with you. But the cards are looking good. I don't think these are the linen finish yet. Their sample cards aren't the linen finish. So another theme that we had to deal with this game, and this is what took some time the last couple of weeks getting it fixed, is the carabiner. So as you guys may or may not recall, the carabiners fit on top of the piton. So if a piton goes in a mountainside, so let's pull a mountainside out here. So you have your piton, right? And you place your piton in the mountainside. Now our old carabiners, they were square in shape. This is a cardboard one. And you can see how it's a little bit deeper. So if you would put it on, some of them, depending on them, they would sort of fall off and roll off. And so that was an issue I didn't want to have to deal with. Obviously you can tighten them up on this, but I wanted to make them fit a little better. And so what we've had them do for both the wooden and the cardboard ones, this is a wooden one, is we had them add the curve to that. And as you can see, they fit much better. They don't fall off. You can still tighten them if you want to get them really tight. But this took care of one of the issues that we were having. And this is just a thing that, I could have just left it with the square ones, but I wanted to improve the playability of this game and make sure it was a good fit. And even though I tried to explain that, our original design was these were a complete washer shape. They were just a hole in the middle. Well, the manufacturers weren't able to do that. I had 2 separate meetings with the engineers at Longpack saying, hey, these have to be able to go on here. They can't fall off. They have to be able to stick on. People need to be able to put them on easily. And yet it still took several weeks of helping them work to see what I wanted versus what they're actually able to manufacture and make these shapes out of wood. It's a brand new shape for them. And so that's one example of what's caused the delay. But I'm really happy that we worked on it and we have a much better result. That was a big theme that took some time, but I'm really glad they were able to improve it. Some of you probably remember that from the previous video. So we not only had to do it on the wood ones, but also on the cardboard ones. So if you look here, some more cards, the mountain maps. Here's a sheet. So if you look, you can see we had to change these from being a square shape to a round shape in order to get them to fit. And the reason I couldn't figure this out beforehand is because I didn't even know what exact size or shape they were able to actually make for the pitons, and these went through several iterations as well. So it's just this constant back and forth, and with the time difference, often a conversation can take a week just to figure out one part, because by the time I email, the project manager's asleep, and when she emails, I'm asleep, and you probably get the idea. But that was one thing that we had to fix that took some time. These are looking great. Another theme, so these are, as you may or may not recall, these are the upgrade boards. And so they fold, these are the laser cut ones, so they're not quite as good as the final version will be. So keep that in mind, but they fold together. And so this part here, if you can see this line, this is actually made to hold your character cards. And so on the previous ones, see here, on the previous ones, you can see the hole is really big, and I thought they had told me this was the maximum width they could do, so that was, I gave them, or minimum width they could do, so I gave them that. Well, it turns out after talking to the engineer, they could actually do a smaller cut, so I had them make the cut even smaller. That helps make sure the cards, where's an open pack? I'll show you guys, here's some. It makes it so that when you have a character card in here, see with this one, well, it falls down a little bit, but with this one, let's see if we can pop it out here. Get these up too. Should have had this set up before the video. You guys are going to have so many tabs to pop when you get this game. So, let's see how I get this together. Okay, all clicked in. So this one, in theory, actually I hadn't quite this part yet. You can see the cards don't fall down as much, so it's a much better gameplay scenario. So you can read your cards and it's easy to see them. So little things like that, you know, fixing those always take time. Another thing, so this is the old one. Another thing we had to work on that you wouldn't really think about, but was the component trays. So, for example, they got all the cuts right, but they didn't get the print right. They like reversed the cuts from where the prints were. So as you can see on this, like you have all these markings on the old ones that we wanted to be hidden. So we had to make them reverse the print so that when you fold this together, it's all completely black and it looks nice and shiny and how you want it to look. So that was another example of a theme that we clearly gave them the files and somehow they just like reversed. And we had to say like, hey, no, you got to reverse it the other way. It's little things like that that can require a lot of time. Another aspect that we had to work on and change is that, so you guys know for the 4-sided and 3-sided mountain holder, in order to get these to fit, let's see, what was it? So we were going to have one side have graphics for the 3-sided mountain holder, and then one side have graphics for the 4-sided mountain holder. Well, it turns out, because of the way the cuts are, if you place the mountain sides in this holder on this side, they fit really well. But if you place them on this side, because of how the dies actually cut the cardboard, they don't fit quite as well. And we thought they would, but they wouldn't. So we had to go through and actually readjust the graphics, and what we ended up doing is with the new version, all the dots or all the letters for where to place the automated climbers are now actually on the mountain sides. They're on little dots on the actual mountain sides so that we can clean up the graphics and you can place the 3-sided or the 4-sided mountain on the same side and have the cuts fit nice. Because if you were to just, like, what you could do is you could have them do a cut this way and then flip the board and do a cut this way. That adds another step into the process, which means it takes longer and there's more chance of error and the cuts getting messed up. So that's another example of something we had to fix. Took time to figure out with them. A lot of the stuff I talked about with them when I met them in Essen, which was one of the reasons we went to the fair. It's always good to talk face-to-face with manufacturers. They color, when we had initially asked them to get us a peg for the conditions board, the peg they sent us was actually, I don't know if you can see it, was actually this one. It's just straight, and so it would fall through the conditions board. And I had asked them to make it like, sort of like a, what's that one game? Chinese checkers peg, where there's like a little handle on it, and I don't know why they didn't, but they didn't. So I was like, okay, well, to make things simple, let's use the same style as the pegs that we already have, make them tapered. Then we had to, so they had to do that, and then the color was wrong, so it's like, hey, I want an orange color, get the orange right. And so that was another example of something we had to work with them to make sure it was properly fixed. Where did this one come from? Right here. And then finally, let me think, there's some other examples I wanted to show you guys. Making sure they got the right cuts in the boards. There were some graphics missing. So on this one, for whatever reason, the export for the files was like making it miss a cave, or where was that? Somewhere on here. Oh yeah, it was making it miss the cave and the bivouac shelter. So that was something we had to fix on the older version. And what else? Yeah, there's some other minor things. Oh yeah, another thing we had to do when for the laser engraved components for the numbers, they were doing ones that sort of looked like sevens, and it was the same on the plastic. And so I had to have them go through and change how the actual ones look and make sure they're readable and easy to see. That took time, getting them to change their font to do that. Lots of little things that we've been working on to really make the game playable and fun and unique for you guys. So now I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the extras that we've done and things that we've improved to the game since the Kickstarter started. Things that we've done to really help out. And that's my water heater going on, so I apologize if that noise ends up being really loud. So one of the things that we did, if you guys remember, for standard and deluxe game players, you guys were going to get cardboard pegs. So they would have been made out of nice sturdy 3mm cardboard, but they would have been cardboard. And so we were able to find a way to actually manufacture pegs for cheap out of plastic, which actually came at an increased cost for me, no increased cost for you. But I decided to make that decision because I feel like it will make the game last longer, be more durable, and higher quality, like really get your money's worth out of this. And so I did that for you guys. I didn't have to, but all of you are now getting plastic pegs, which are nice and durable. They have easy to read numbers on them. You know, that was another thing too that we had to fix, is like with the yellow pegs, I had asked for black, but they did white, so we had to change the color to white, or to black for the plastic ones. We also improved the, what was the other thing? Oh, we added some additional promo cards for you guys. We're making that not guidebook, the first player guides setup book that actually takes you through and shows you how to play the game, has graphics that depict that. I spent extra time making illustrations on how to pack each game box on the side of the mountain. That wasn't on the original copy, but we wanted to do that just to make it easier to pack for you guys. And I'm sort of having a mind blank at the moment. It's been a crazy day. But that, among other things, are some of the improvements we've made. Oh, yes. We made it so everybody could have the old cardboard style marker because you all wanted it. So you don't just get the plastic, but you also get the cardboard, old-fashioned looking ones. We improved the dice color from what they were originally going to be to the clear like we wanted. Broad variety of little things that probably it's hard to keep you guys updated on all of them, especially when you're waiting, you're like, where's the game? Adding graphics on how to put the games together to the back of the upgrade boards. Those weren't on the originals, so we added that. Adding clear instructions on the component trays so you don't just have to figure it out yourself, but you can just match the dots and the colors to put these together really easily. Lots of little tiny things that weren't needed, but we tried to do just to add an extra special touch to the game. So I'm sort of mumbling now. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I just want to say that, one, thank you again for backing. I really appreciate your support for this project. I'm sorry it took so long. If I had realized the complications that would have arrived as a point of just the 3D shape and all the different aspects, getting all the pieces to fit in perfectly, getting the cuts to fold right, and the graphics on the right side of the folds, all those things that you wouldn't normally have if you're just doing a simple 2D game where you punch the pieces. It contributed to it taking a while, but I really hope you guys are going to like the final product. People loved it at Essen when I showed them. There's literally, our table was packed with people playing it the whole fair long. Everyone loved it. One person didn't like it, and he was like playing it wrong. He like had too many resources because he wasn't playing by the rules. So yeah, if you don't play by the rules, the game gets broken. But all that said, I appreciate your support. Please hang in there a little longer. Like I said, I'm not just over here, fiddling my thumbs and wasting your time and money, but I'm actually working hard to make sure you have a good product, a product that you can play and use for generations to come. I've hired contractors to help make sure the project goes as fast as is possible, given the restrictions we have by the manufacturer. And I'm really looking forward to you guys actually playing this and seeing the end result. So thanks for your patience. Thanks for your time. Don't hesitate to keep asking me questions. I appreciate you guys keeping me accountable and reminding me to do updates. This last couple months between Spiel Essen and getting the manufacturing finished and my other job, which requires a lot of time, have been really crazy. So a lot of times when it comes down to it, I have a couple hours to work on Massif, and it's like, okay, do I send you guys an update, or do I work on something that's actually going to make the project happen more efficiently and fast? And so I often will defer the project updates, which I know I shouldn't, but to focus on other things. But keep me accountable for that. Keep asking questions. I want you guys to be a part of this. And finally, I hope you guys are getting ready for the winter outdoor season. I'm really looking forward to doing some snowboarding. My other job is giving me 2 weeks off at the end of this month, so hopefully, since I've been able to contract it and manufacturing is already underway, I can spend those 2 weeks reading some books, playing some games, and doing some winter sports. But I think that's it. Just wanted to give you guys a brief overview. I look forward to updating you on timelines when I hear back from the manufacturer again, where progress has been made. Like I said, they've started production on everything. So it's just sort of waiting game. How fast can they crank out these games that we've ordered? So thank you guys, and I will talk to you soon. All right.